The life of the flesh is in the blood, but not much has been said concerning the life of the blood. The life of the flesh is in the blood, but for the blood to be alive, there must also be the life of the blood. Our bodies can't keep themselves alive without blood. When our spirit wants to give something to our body, it first gives it to the blood. Then, the blood passes it on to the body. Blood acts like a middleman, a go-between set up by God. That's why it's still a mystery today. Life is in the blood. If you don't believe that, then even Jesus' blood wouldn't have any power. When people talk about the power of blood, they're talking about its life. So the blood keeps the body alive because it holds life. To show you that life exists in blood, even when it's outside the body, it holds onto the life of the body and can live on its own. God tells Cain, "Your brother Abel's voice is calling out to me from the ground." It's the voice of the blood, not the flesh, crying out from the ground. So the blood can't have a voice unless it has life, and it can't cry out unless it feels. When Abel was killed, it was his blood that felt the pain and communicated. The essence of a person is in their blood, their emotions, sight, and hearing. While Abel's body lay there, his blood was speaking to God for justice. This isn't just about Abel's blood, but also Jesus' blood, which speaks more powerful things. If there's life in blood, there's a language in it too. Blood can cry because it can feel, showing that a person's soul resides in their blood. What's happening in your blood? It's like a channel, transferring wisdom and knowledge from the spiritual realm. Blood is uniquely designed to capture spiritual essence and convert it into something your body can use. Your body struggles a lot, you know. Blood acts as a bridge between the spirit and the physical body, something humans can't replicate. It's the only substance that blends both spiritual and physical aspects. This design allows the natural human, who struggles to grasp spiritual things, to receive them through the blood, which can understand them. So when someone curses you, it's like they're passing it on to your blood, because curses are spiritual and need to be given to your blood. Similarly, misfortunes and the traits of your ancestors are also passed through your blood. Your blood is like a receiver, even catching words spoken over you before your body does. Then your body takes what it needs from the blood, sustaining its life. But after Jesus died, his body came back to life. Even though there's no blood in his body at that point, why do we say there's no blood? It can't be in the body and also on the altar at the same time. So, the reason his body is alive now is because there's another source of life. The Spirit is giving life directly to the body. At that moment, the body can receive life and spiritual things directly from the Spirit. So if we were to take our death seriously, like when Jesus died and we died with him, our life would now come directly from the Spirit, and we should be able to do what Jesus did after coming back to life. So my life isn't just in the blood anymore, especially after coming back to life. After resurrection, Jesus' body is alive. If there's blood, it means there's something wrong. We don't have blood on the altar. The blood should be in heaven's altar while Jesus' body is alive on earth. If the life of the flesh is in the blood, why is the flesh alive without blood? It's because of the presence of the Spirit. Now I can sit here and get life from the Spirit, and I'm not limited anymore. I'm free. The body can ascend into heaven with no restrictions whatsoever, because when gravity was told to have dominion, it was given dominion over the blood, the laws of the blood, and the life that is in the blood, not over spirits. There's a better life beyond the blood inherited from your father. In that blood, there's a preset program for failure passed down from your ancestors. This blood is already tainted. Relying on this life won't guarantee your success. You need to turn to a different source of life, a spiritual one. This knowledge is what heals your body. Diseases affect the blood first, then pass to the flesh, causing you pain as a result. Doctors often inquire about family history to trace genetic issues. These problems were passed to your blood before affecting your body. Your blood transfers these issues to your body. It's not just about dealing with demons. True deliverance is when you're freed from genetic predispositions. When you break free from the patterns in your blood, you'll no longer be governed by its dictates. Imagine if your blood could talk. What would it reveal about you? When doctors ask for a blood sample, they're listening to what your blood says, which can sometimes tell more than your words. With advanced technology, they can understand the message in your blood. People might say, he's sick because his dad was, or he's poor because his father is poor. To break free from such struggles, one might need to closely examine Jesus' death and adopt it as their own. Then consider his life after death and make it their own as well. Today, God will free you from the ways your family has been before you, the things they believed and did. You might feel like you're following in their footsteps, thinking and speaking like them, but there's a change happening now. You're dealing with souls of the forefathers. You might sense and understand things the way they did. It's like you're carrying on their legacy. But things are changing now. A soul was handed over to you, but no, there is a switch today. So if I know death is coming into my house and someone has to die, what do? You still have to give death its demand. To ensure your firstborn doesn't die, offer the firstborn sheep instead. If you want a long life, you must concentrate on his life. When he died, he wasn't dying for himself. Who was he dying for? Me. His death wasn't just spiritual, it was also for my physical life. Understanding this brings life into your body. When you think about how he took on sin, not just being sinful, so that I could become righteous, it changes things. He went to hell, so I could go to heaven. He suffered on the cross so that the blessings of Abraham could be mine. His death brings me life. When you fill your mind with this knowledge, even illnesses, viruses, and curses in your family can be overcome. Why do we suffer? Because we draw life from sources that are cursed. Your blood alone isn't enough to sustain you. When the devil comes against you, you need a different kind of strength. Just like David faced Goliath, he saw the physical strength of his enemy, but decided to elevate the battle to a higher level by calling upon Jehovah. By doing this, he transformed the battleground, bringing divine presence into it. Once God is involved, the enemy loses power. Similarly, when we invite God into our battles, the devil loses his advantage. We're shifting the fight to our turf, where we're equipped and trained by God to overcome. This is where we truly belong, breaking free from the lifelong bondage we've been in. It's time to end. You are escaping the bondage that you've been in throughout your lifetime. How is it? It is a lifetime, and yet death is taking place. You are dead while you are alive. That is coming to an end. If it's a lifetime, it has to be life in that time. The Bible is saying that we are partakers of flesh and blood. So likewise, Jesus himself also took part of the same flesh and blood. The reason why he took flesh and blood is that through death, Jesus might destroy him who had the power of death, that is, the devil. Jesus wanted to die, and to do that, he needed to have flesh and blood. Death happens to our bodies, not our spirits. Jesus took on flesh and blood to confront death. He wanted to face death in his body, not in the grave or in hell. He wants to conquer, he wants to defeat death in his own flesh. So likewise on our behalf, because as children we are partakers of the flesh and the blood. In Hebrews 2, if you read about those people there who lived but never truly experienced life because they were always under the control of death. Even when they were alive, they felt the power of death looming over them. Fear kept them trapped in this cycle of living under the shadow of death. Job said, "The thing that I feared the most has befallen me." Why? Because he was afraid of it when he started his business and his career. He was shaking every single moment, wondering, what if I lose this and what if I lose that? He didn't realize he was making a deposit into that environment. So no matter how much money he then made, ultimately, he was drawn back by that emotion, and he lost everything. So fear not.